SKOTI. Another one from SKOTI, Baba. Rock la wood. Put him up, 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 put it. We did it again, SKOTI. Tell him. 7 Ekima, 7 Ekima, 7 Ekima, 7 Ekima, 7 Ekima, 7 Ekima. It's on. Tlala the brand new season 2, Buffet. Season 2, like we said, I go by the name Slammer, the rockstar, Slammer, the superstar. Reka phameng Buffet. Tlala Buffet. Re tlo tlala ka life le kasi ya ntjaya ka Buffet. Lebogang Matolong. Ki guru, he's a young and hectic and epic radio guru Buffet. Re tlo tlala ka ene. Ntse ke batla le Terry ya reka phameng ke shona mane bile ka bobosha. Ke ba tla bona bacteria. Okay, ya ntjaya.
Ayo Buffet. Ke ntanele sendaka music but Kambino Tlatsa. I go by the name Bacteria aka Lyrical Gems in the 18 area Halakasha. Buffet like slaps as such Buffet Kiona Talakasi season 2. Remopame, Rito Talaka out here on Buffet out here for the Nemonati, one Nemonati Radio Mo Free State as well like Remomanga Wumauti, Lebogang Matolong. Otherwise Buffet, I give to what I didn't see, Kotori Kutala Chamorene, Kalafia for Nagamoto Sinyang, Mopame, Sanholoya, Laura Ichama Radio. But King, Haridita Tail, Renterenalina, Slaps and Fetu.
Yeah, lo mamela show ya Fandara, it's all about community in radio, youth in radio. Radio mo Free State kai, itwa kai, iya kai. Ke show ya today, hence re tshwere guru ya radio, the youngest.
And stuff like this, I was a couple of Chagan Tarahola, Bonaco, no one radio station, highway. It's like Kibo BBT. Lebogang FM. No, yeah, never fit Horana Motewe FM, and you know Motewe FM is the #1 radio
Mokasi. Tlala I go by the name Slammer, the rockstar. It's very king, lyrical gems, ke bacteria Buffet. Re tle mo Matolong re ka phame. Ha re mo cheke go dula somewhere ronto mo man. Ha re mo cheke go dula somewhere ronto mo Buffet.
Ha re mamogeleng Buffet a to re tlatsa a re blele everything ka yena Buffet. Tlala
Yeah. Thank you, boy. Otherwise, thank you. Yeah. Ke kasia kae mo phameng batho ba ntse ba itse for a tla mo Bloemfontein tla ba bella for number ya ntse ke mang so ke mo daga ka 6244 ke mo ke tlhagetseng teng ha ke tlhagile mo ka September di jara tse dintsi plenty go morago kwa ka di 21 ke tsene sekolo go le gae ke mo ga bo mama ka mo Kinali, the brothers stay 2 and then the Uswaka. One of my brothers passed away last year, and then Kisetika brother 1, and then the sister Waka. So yeah, Kina Mokikasia Kai, Mopaming, Lavona's Gela, Samabewana Mopela Haronam. The quality Negatala Bolo. So, obviously, Nikitaka Mutu, Kishore Gambalaka. The missionary it was a lot of fun. Growing up more in Amokas, it was a lot of fun. Amajanta to it. No, yeah, never to actually but then I so yeah, that's a little bit about myself. And then I get to Kailang. Ke feditse grade 12 yaka so slapsing kitella da go Kailang ya ne re sukudisa blandi mara re ke mo ruti ka ipotsa hore na mo ruti boruti bo botswa go kae because ha ke mo ruti anyway so yeah but I get to go Kailang. I went to ATTI to further my studies ke dirile IT ko teng and then I started working go Incredible Connection. And that is where I met with radio. So yeah, but ke tla lebella a little bit about that journey ya ka ya radio. So yeah, Lebogang Matolong.
Another one from SKOTI, Baba. Rock la wood. Put him up, 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 put it. We did it again, SKOTI. Tell him.
Until Tlala ka si ba fethu season 2 la hits until Stammer and Rockstar ntse ke tshwere Lepse ba fethu guru ya radio Lepse o goletse kha ha burwaka kana go tsela ntse re tla re gola burwaka makeishene na bitswa makeishene bo phaming ana le rafo blind tao no go le rafo blind ka yi how did you survive the roughness ba kha ta
it's interesting in your potanya Stammer because of next door ka motlatleng ha gona na le Grootman o mongwe na le skerpe blind but ke bona magotman ba re godisitseng ba wa ba farming in itsa ga le ka thipa utlwa thipa botse batho go le Sotho tavern
mpotse ke tla o chaela
mare go golela mo it was a good neighborhood because of magotman ba bana ba dira dilo tso for bone bana ba sa batlo rona re ditsene
le tsene da
so mapeng ba bantse ba tla ka moraga ga rona ba dira dilo tse di snacks nna ke bona e le bone ba batlang go continue ka legacy ya batho ba but a rona re igoletse sharp
ka tsela e nngwe
re igoletse sharp blind re ne re itse ntlo nngwe le nngwe ke go galeng like particularly this house re shootela mo pele ga yone
yeah
my love for food, my passion actually for dijo is that dilemmo
have a diamond wa ja ba fethu just to be frank diamond wa rob okay he cooks too I know that he cooks too I know that
ona le ole nene le dula hi bitsa me mapitsi o tlokofetse gale nyana I'm sure it's almost close to like about 20 years now a sentse na tlokofetse so kene a ileng a nthuta dilo tse di tshwanang le bo di herbs you know go kopantsha dijo go di tswakanya
a re tshelela nama le metsi le chaile
o le ileng buta so se bitswang go marinate dijo marinate nama dilo tsene ke sa di itse ne ke ipela ka re a motho a re yalo mo go wena wa o shotla o kile one like maybe hana bana
o
batla o direla wena o re ndo no mapelang but ngutlo gape yo lately ba ka mo ke ka mo ga mme mama lope re goletse ka yi
okay
go nona la utho mongwe a dula ka yi no yana a o dula gakala kwa ke go itse mo santse re
tla go la ga move ra tsamaya re dira
he's my childhood friend ona samka cricket ne re tsamka bolo mmogo ne re tsamkela yi mfethu
ga bona ntse re shupentse tsa go no dala
he ta pala masare sena
se stelle so gate
particularly gona le bo di matches tse di dlalang a ke re ne re tsamka ka di
team isane league isane le rena le league mo so kwa
le stadium sa rona se so ne re itse for like batho ba tla go shebella di match ne re shebella di match teng he
okay so let's then nna ke batlang specifically go re wa bona plus re mo scrap ya teng ne re kha area le ta o bona o end up o le yanta ne re go bitsa le moruti kwa high school ne re mmisa moruti kwa high school diamond a se o mongwa batho ba leng go kosgela go kaelang ne re ka re ke batho ba tswang khabo phaming khabo go chabela ka makeishining ala gafa diamond he was so the went le mmona leng ka teng ke le tla utlwa le majita ba bua ka ena Lepse ka sie how did it play what part did it play in you becoming what you are today how e go moldile jwang in a simple terms
anka o bella bana batsadi ba ba dula mo matlong a so up until go gae these women and men molded us wa bona ene le batho bana ba batla go bona re tsama kereke bana batla go bona re tsena sekolo o no skita o re o ikgatela sekolo o no itse ka ikgatela sekolo ga ga ditlo
o tlo botsa wena o duletseng e bo tlhapisiwa o isiwe sane ha re sa molate rona from Kosgela
go nona le ntate mongwe na dilo go ntwenyele da le re mmitsa ntate mo se ne le podisi
wa bona
kana go tsebo fo ba ntse ba tshabile thama le nna shore mthetho ka iya wa bona so go no sna ngwana o ikgetelang sekolo re ne re itse fore ngwana o mong le o mong ntlo ena e mo yana go tlhaga so re phela le batho ba hi so re godisitswe ke bone re goletse mo bang re tlhagetse mo re goletse
monate wa online TV and online station ke o ntse re bua mo pele ga ntlo ya ga Mazali ebile Mazali le ene ke wa tlhaga wa bona re
re shoot documentary ya ka mo ke ne ke tsena sekolo le Mthakao bagaetso ke ba mmitsa o smatlakala malope mara nna ke mitsile gagadi re gotse mo pele ga gagwe so I think ka lebele a little bit more ka nna gagadi ba bele ka nna wena o godisitse ya batho ba dumela ke ba bela for ke goletse mo phameng mo bana na for ke dula go ke dula nteng go di dogsong
Lebogang ke butsile sa le baby nyana le seya ska ka baby nyana le seya ha re fitla mo phameng mo zone e ona sa teng but kana kwa na tlhaga ke le gore ha gola ba gotse yalo ba godisitswe nna thata motho go ba godisitseng ke mme wa ka o tlhokafetse o mama mara nna ntse ke tsaya bokarolo ka go ba nne ke bereka dijo ba ja ba kgona go ja ke gopola ka nako nngwe ke la ka tsaya Lebogang go se monate ka re Lebogang tlo re toropong ke tla ka dira grocery nyana ka re tsamo ha o mama sala wa go bona you still remember
tse ke gopola
Lebogang ke ngwana o bokgobo ke rata le ka mo go bana ba ntlhompha ka teng ba tlhompile le mme wa ka ile o mama yana ha isale ile Lebogang ke mo itse ka tlhompho e kalo eo ha ke na go bua ke mo ha ke mo tlotlomatse ke bua seng a neng a le shone ke bana ba godile mo pele ga ka go le monate ba tshameka le ditlogolwana tsa ga mme wa me go le monate ba godile gona ke bontate ba na le matlo ba na le metsi ya bone ba nyetse ba bang
Hi, it's Kapsila Shabalala. I am chilling with Tlala, the rock star on Tlala.
Yes, bafetile le bona re tla go ene Lebogang Matolong kwa tlharetseng teng kwa goletseng teng go bile le batho ba mo godisitseng so no yana tsa re ka se re sting tse re le mo phameng mo Kayla K bafete bo le foranong ha tshitsi o ja teng o nametse teng to re tsene bafete re ba bona Thank you, Bafeti. Until I know Sindara music, but later I mean a little Bafeti. I go by the name Bacteria, aka Lyrical Gems, in the 18 area. Kiona Tlala season 2 Bafeti. Ntsere Lebogang Matolong. I jeke da ding ana striver. Ntsere mo phame. So Bafeti le bone Lebogang, re bone kwa tlharetseng teng, kwa goletseng teng, zone ya gagwe. So no yana ntsere mo phame o re tlatsa ka kasi ya gagwe. Re monda o mwele fa gone nyanga sa dilo tsa gagwe tsa tumeng ka tsone ra di itsa kre. Mele fa o nwa metsi ya gagwe teng wa papisa. Re mo Kayla K. So Bafeti ke dula le rona go tswa mo rena. Lebza. Ne re di tlile ba baka tsa kgolo ya gago re kopane le boma o le di batho ba go godisitseng so khona la dingelo re matlala se ba e short and ba e emetse se le le lo re ntse ke tatetse ba feta dading ya ga di jona
what is the dog dading ya radio it's interesting that firstly ka 2008 9 khona le automobile marketions on a dira show ku Post FM in the Shakes and Things Live e be le for go na le didenya ke Brenda Tlala ka se bitse ka le ene ena le event go Philip Sanders so di bana na le go broadcaster la wa ba aba invite so smash ta se kopanele ko molong ene ke bereka ko shopping mo ne ke se computer mo ko se bolo go bana so after that ke be ke vaya la da o se le channel so we ke vaya la da e lo re ke ba ta o bona for ntse ke ditsa ni ke tsamale auto mo aka o tla teng mo drive thank you so le tsara ke podcast mari e be le for ba subiswa ke technology so because of ano nna ke bereka go shopping ya di computer majita ba bala na friend ke I eating for KD more. So we can connect the 3G sharp, but the broadcast did not happen because of didn't know about this and exciting. So we can only interest them and give out our one friend take them. Who go back to I the chapel because none of the to review when they give Bella from get batting news. Ke bone mix out tell learning understand different I didn't have. No one sharp. Anze ke le teng go internet connection la be ke kopana go fapana mo so go tiki ntate kitsa so ntate kitsa kana go yo le secretary ya board ya motho FM abamtela for mo the way o nthusang ka teng male the way o setapa di le sharp ka teng ka rata the way o pereka in this thing ya technology how na interest them in this thing ya so I mean 2 weeks back ke le ba to go radio ba ka radio and then ntatwa mo na ke join this thing ya radio so I felt like okay la bana ha destiny with this may be something that I needed to do so be ke re mo khana no a re bana go na le di post tse di tlhatleng go motheo sha be ke apply a fe ke ya for interview ke be ke ka sponsor go na technical manager ya Motheo FM. In the same interim tentenda before ke ne ke start our span antse ke se ba notice go selo e be le for go na le pleke ngwana na shwa ine bitsa Zanzibar
okay
mo sports baba Shakesy una no broadcaster na ke be ke yara yanong ke this time ke interest ya ke ba ta bona ntle ke for na ke dingwe kopantswe because of an ke radio straight in baba so be ke yara ke tla kopana le majita ba ke ba mpontsha wa bona for ntse ke outside broadcast ke so sa mohuta mang baba le yona mara bitla nna floor potentenda so my love and passion for radio started there baba I started ko Motheo FM ka 2009 yeah I'm on go sna nixi at that time Motheo like literally nothing there were no studios there was just an infrastructure ya di cubicles se fela tsa studio but no sna studio per se and then I think around March February like in February March
the same year
ka 2009 you look for a NDDA no Department of Communications DOC they release the studio stars at Motheo FM majita bana ba tla go dira di studio sting ke bana ba mo kontitse point A up until point C yeah Ricky baba my love and passion started right there
okay
baba ka feel for like I'm didenye ka e bona ka utlwisisa ba ke batla go itse mo ka yona baba so nna ke motho mo ke rata go botsa
yeah sure
ka botsa majita ma go kopantswa so go bua khala because nkile ka nna mo studio sa o record baba like a recording studio like a music studio nkile ka nna mo ke itse majita ba bantsi ba di artist baba so that whole thing I need to ya go kopantsha ka studio I got to get an understanding ya bona dintse di bereka ya bona se bathini no se di bathini tse dintsi go na le di computers tse dintsi di tshameka mo music tsino ya playlist ya go problem ya mic di spanner ya every single thing when it came to the elements that I got myself into
So mo radiong o ke utlwa the way o startileng ka teng dilo tsa go show go na le show e leng o bula ka wa e dira wa ipresenta go nne mo moyeng kapa wena sese le motho wa behind
waiting now go bella nnete ela nkile ka nna mo moyeng mara se passion ya ka actually nna ke tlhoile go bella le voice ya ka gore ga ke ba Yambora. Not because of I don't think I have a good voice or maybe I don't have a personality for this thing. Kinali passion being behind the scene because I know how to work better being behind the scene. But how long am I paying? You can never train. You have capacity that you have what you in le gore ba kgone go project se wena o na le vision ya teng. But I have done a show, I've done a hip hop show. Nkile ka dira show ya bosigo ya maratana o yone show tsa batho nkile ka dira show ya
Tlala
basically so but I have been on air it's just that it's not my passion it's not something that I also look forward to I don't like I hear as much as people are I have done shows
my brother tsela e le gore o tsamaile ke mmile pelo for yona o utlwa ka from technical to manager e clear daring wa apply the posting so le thagare ka peke daring go tlile lep se mantsa position e
wait this journey ya go mo station management thing it took me at least 10 years to get there station is celebrated 13 years this year so 2015 I resign and I for like you for ki reached ceiling ki labana how o feel for us to o gola like I'm not growing anymore because the opportunities were now becoming less because they were already occupied by other people. I felt like technical was not something that I wanted to do forever. So I joined a CUTFM and I CUTFM at the start of launch and I joined them as a content manager. I started as a program manager and then we changed that post to content manager because I believe that the future of radio is basically in the hands of content managers. It's not in the hands of anybody else but content managers. Kita fananga di details why ki real. So from that space, CUTFM, there were other things that also affected my life. It was not a paying position. I was volunteering and I did well. There was a show that we did. It was called Girl Talk. I still feel for it. It's still something that is needed in the space of content, particularly where we have a show that is focusing on, younger girls, particularly by universities and all of that, where we talk about issues of sexuality, issues of understanding yourself, issues of this thing you jump vagina monologue or vagina dialogue. We needed to, dive into that space where we talk about issues that affect females, but from a female perspective, but for men, when educating the men. But the stigma is in Tata, so how it's a depends. Gay and all of that. It's not true, that thing. You are caring for the next person. That is why my initial I said to you, the future of radio is in the hands of content producers or I grew with CUT, and then there was a position that was available, a programming manager, with Tax FM in Pretoria. And then I went there. I applied for it. Firstly, I applied for a station manager position because there was a station manager position that was available.
Okay.
And
Then tax.
for tax. Ka sa apply la, I ke fetsa go sa apply la Spanish seo. Ke be ke sa screen. And then I remember that you know, e khopetsa di steps ba tsa bua ya go ke mo ruti. So nna ne ke sa Spain at that time. I had left go CUT. Ke ne ke sa Spain ne ke le kutlu. Ka 2016. And I asked God, I'm for birthday ya ka hela mfana githi. Ongombe Spain. That's why. Ke be ke kriya ka August ke kriya an email that came from Taxering. Conal position ye available ya programming manager. Am I interested in it? Ke applied half-heartedly because of I felt ne ke batla ya station manager. There were better prospects, financially, but also in terms of growth. And I applied for it. But I think the prayer that I was praying, it was more about me developing and becoming the person that I am today. You know, servicing at a lower end is not a curse; it's a gift, actually. Yeah. So that when you get to a higher position, you still remember how majority ya batho ba ikutlwang ka teng and baka thusiwang botoka ka teng. So I applied for that position and I got it. Ka tshwanela for ke travel ke see family ya ka mo Blomo ka vaya ka ya Pretoria. Ka fitla ka Spana there. I worked go taxi for like about I think 18 months. It was the best experience I've ever had. And every single time that I was there, in Pretoria, remember that Tax FM, it's like an institution of greatness.
Yeah.
You don't get into Tax FM and you don't become great. You walk into Tax FM and you become great. I always ask this question every single time that I would visit Mohai. Why Motheo FM is suddenly like this? It must become an institution of greatness. It must become an institution whereby everybody can take a leaf out of that book and say, I served Go Taxi basically to learn. More than anything else, I went there to learn. Yes, I was getting paid for the work that I did. I won 2 awards. And really down, best breakfast show host and the best nighttime host. When I left that institution, I told myself that I need to come back to Bloemfontein and to Proudback because I have seen greatness. But there was also what you call a calling.
Yeah.
I needed to go and serve God. So, but it was initiation. Not for Naki Fila for the Galibulu. Radio station, radio pulpit. I did not work as a manager, so I had less responsibilities. I worked there for 9 months. I still remember one of the managers that interviewed me. After my interview, I knew that I had the job out of the interview because these people are already getting into not selection process but to say otanini wabo sake to mo munyakura diamond are mo gonna when are you not gonna last here ka why o bua social aba re ta bua aba ka o fa Spanish. I already knew that I had the job,
Sure.
but I wanted to understand ona bua ka eng.
That thing
Because of firstly the job that I applied for, I was overqualified for it. I was there to serve mandate one that basically. So I needed to get my heart initiated and to fall back in love again with this thing because I had served at higher positions. But I needed to serve at a lower entry-level position that could help me regain my love back for radio. So basically ne ke kopa di LB tsa radio. I had grown out of the love and the passion and the fire that I had back in 2009 up until 2016-17. It had died down a little bit. And then in 2019 I came back to Motheo FM.
2019.
Ka 2019. Ka gona le position ya advertisement ya station management. 2019 ya fela. Re soka re bitsiwa for the interview.
Already settle apply.
Apply. And it was like around almost the end of the year 2019. No gona le a lot of chaos 2019. Ka kriya position eo ka 2020. Ka starta ka April. Interesting fact. I started ko Motheo FM ka April ka 2009. 2009. I came back on Motheo FM ka April 2020.
Wow.
So, like I'm saying, the whole 9 months that I served for Radio Pulpit was to help me initiate my heart. More than anything else, I think Modimo na batla gore ke nne le passion e. So it was more about passion for the love and the drive for this thing in media. And I'm not trying to sound funny or give out sound as smart. This is more about the calling in Modimo na batla out of me. I grew stronger spiritually, I grew stronger physically, I grew stronger mentally. So, ile kwale for people ya Modimo lo thusa ka go ke radio station e pushang into Tlala 24/7. They preach the word of God. I got to get built personally, and I believe that the results that really came this station or some we should actually give them props for Radio Pulpit for growing the kind of person that I am in terms of understanding, becoming strategic, focusing more on what God says and not what I think.
Becoming Muruti Bafetu Mamela. The reason why so you have to raise Tlala like a radio in community, the community with radio, like involvement in community in radios, in a small radios, community. Youth involvement in the radio. Like Kinseki Shonse Richel Guru ya radio, Lebogang Matolong, Lepse, remote 2019. This is the history of the Free State community radio station. Hence we have the guru in the community radio stations in the Free State. Brayaka, BBT, I know you were not part of those things.
Sure.
Diata, the community radio station, Diata. Until today, give me community radio station Kanako BBT, Linoya.
Sure.
We go in somewhere with this question, but just bring me there.
Yeah, Wabana history radio, particularly in Bloemfontein, is that BBT is a stepping stone.
Yes.
Towards what you see as Motheo today. Remember that most of the people that had the plan, Motheo FM or Motheo Multimedia Institute, they were part of BBT. When BBT became defunct, sure. Those people, after some time, they revived that love and the idea and love back for radio. And that is where they got community involved. Patrick Tlala, the likes of Patrick Tlala is the brains behind actually the Motheo Multimedia Institute.
Okay.
He's the brains behind it. Bonana Plaki. The one person that we must also give props to, because he was a food runner, was Shambi Plakis. Shambi, the late Shambi Plakis was the guy that was running the message on the community Momofazi. I remember that back in 2006, 2006. Mo pipi garage. And Patrick Tlala was a rap, ya jwala, and una rata go tla mo ko mathaere mostly and like mo shampoo na le mo majiteng da mo bankanywa mathaere teng bana ba rata ho bua ka this thing ya radio but now I wasn't interested in that thing. Ne ke shebetse smogolo sa ka da gore ke khone gore ke rize di sente gore ke ko ke ne ke tlhoka go teng. But like I'm saying, sometimes you don't see how your dots connect. This conversation was happening behind my back, but for me, I was part, but not actually active part of whatever that was going on. I know do about the meeting ko Zenzele ne re tshotse re blela for re tsamisa bo di document ne re sa itse ke tsa eng. Ba bang go dirwa bo di a ke no go kana go tsi khasa ne batla 1000 signatures tsa bo di tsa di community no go dula file da a ne re go tsa go tshela petrol mo no kopela I'm not going to sign le mo batho ba ba sa itse ba sign sometimes but anatla o tla botsang mo bolele gona le radio station e tlo startiwa mo go tshile re kope signatures tsa lona. Then people would sign. Ba tsamaya ba ya ko community meeting tsene di diragala mo Zenzele community hall bo Rocklands hall. So when people were gathering information, we were still in the midst, but we're not active. We did not even know what was happening. So today, when you see this whole thing, like other people would say, it's like a 360-degree, turn, or maybe like a full circle. But if it's a full circle, that once you start looking at the history, you start noticing that actually you are part of the history, but you did not even know that you are building for the future. So community involvement in terms of like radio, in particular, is very important, particularly in community media and public broadcasting. Community involvement is very important there because of you help shape up the future, that medium. Because ke platform if you are batho ba rona. Example, momo tswa imoja ka mitla tsamaya so. If gona le draining mo Maritzburg, community does not call municipality. They call their nearest community radio station to get municipality to act more involvement. So community. You are you have become some sort of like a virtual office. Yeah, government, yeah, masipale. We are a complaint center. It's like a call center. Like but what like call center? Or like the powers that be. So it's a very important integral process that you need to understand that your community is the one that makes you. Your service to them is the one that helps you become what you want to be.
Le mutuile Matlala so ya rabile potso ka ne ke batlile go itsela involvement ya community inside these small radio stations, hence we call them community radio stations. Now you just explained why re na le community radio station ntse ke sa itse. Thank you Matolong migration digital kholo ya radio tsa location. I was listening to Motheo FM a couple of weeks ago and we could announce that Motheo FM is one of the youngest radio stations to migrate digital. What's the meaning of that thing?
Okay. Just a brief history. In 2009, there was a document that was signed by the then Minister of Communication. I'll remember the name now. Matsepe Kasabu.
Yes.
She signed in a document that action series bitang digital migration. It is not a document just South Africa, it's a global document. Now digital migration, to simplify it, everybody has seen or has experienced digital migration. What we see today is actually something that has happened about 13 years back. But it's just that the steps were very slow.
In terms of our size.
Yeah.
Yes.
How you simplify this thing at digital migration is basically saying that you are no longer on an analog signal, you are on a digital signal. But remember that TV tsa pele ne di na le antenna ke. So di kape signal ya SABC ne. Now, Hane DSTV e rolla out to service bitang set-top boxes, which was has always been there. But I got the set-top box decoder ya Mnet, and then that open channel ya Mnet like 5 o'clock but it was still analog at that time. When they rolled out digital satellite television, which is DSTV, it was more about digital migration, because of now you get your signal from a satellite space, not on an antenna, and that gives you a bouquet of a lot of other channels that you can channel hop on to get the service that we're now better. And it moved from just your normal set-top box to PVR to what. Now you can even pause something and then watch something else. There's a lot that you could do. So to digitize something is basically to say to you, you are in control. On a power, content but that content must come in a very good quality form. What you see today is the station, Hanari, like a couple of weeks back, when we digitally moved together, all together, from our studios to the antenna that we're using today. We are using digital signal, digital formats, everything on a digital.
88.5.
Yeah. Now, remember that is a frequency. That pendulum Ikasa, even your DSTV, it's on a frequency 80, even though it's on a satellite. So everybody's allocated a frequency. Your cell phone used to only send SMSs, receive SMSs, and then it the call here, receive the call. Today, you can even watch TV. Netflix, DSTV Plus, DSTV Now. There's a lot that you can do with your cell phone in your house. So that is digital migration. Digital migration is basically giving you the options to do what you want to do more.
What does that mean to Motheo FM
now, for Motheo FM, it means that in the next couple of years, if this roll out speedily, you can get Motheo FM in 3 formats. The first format, which you can get us anywhere in the world. You just basically need to just go to iono.fm and then plug in Motheo FM, and then you can create it. Now that is another digitization of radio online. The second platform is that DAB Plus. That is Digital Audio Broadcasting Plus. Now it gives radio station about like multi-channels. You can get us on your FM, which is still free. You can get us on your DAB receiver, where you can see information here. You can even download the song. Nice. Like Icebound do, Mama, you can just tap download. The song gets in. From your own platform, the third one is that you can watch radio on it. Podcast and chill, Yamek G. A simplification of what radio is going to become. Cliff Central is simplification of what radio is going to become. So you've got radio that you can watch, radio that you can listen to, and radio that you can basically just listen to. Either Mamela music and voice, or Mamela full program, which is music as Jingle's voice, or music that you can listen to. So Otonale Motheo FM, maybe Motheo FM music, Motheo FM full program, Motheo FM voice only, or Motheo FM news only, or Motheo FM sport only, and that these other formatted but that becomes multi-channels in one station.
We here to learn. I go by the name Tlala, the rockstar, Tlala, the superstar. Tlala kaka isirimo khila khiri ka phaleng ba fetsa tre Dr. Matolong ke nitsa Dr. Panda. Yes, been through a lot. Tlala ya ne re ke memetse fast.
Put him up, 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 put it. We did it again, it's KOTI.
Bafetu intselo na thile sindaka music but ntselitse go ka million tlatsa bafetu da dinga na streamer haijiki ntsele mo phame bafetu Lebogang Matolong a tsa ka ka siara jaaka re lebeletse gore re tla go lefanong ka spare time sa gagwe wa gaola o nna metsi a gagwe teng mo Kayla K. Otherwise to yana bafetu re tshwere thuzu endawo bafetu re tshwere Hotman bafetu ke ena manganda thank you Hotman
Thank you.
Shafiri
Sharp.
no
Hola.
ntsele ke Tlala ka se from Lebogang Matolong TV ntsele tshwere Lebogang Matolong a tsa ka siara ka phame so ya mo ba ne ke le mo ndaong ya gago a re bontsha gore a ba fetse ke teng mo le famenya ka spare time sa ka di batla go shida ke batla go gaona ke le mo metsi ya ka tlela mo ndaong se shele ka siara ka phame so Hotman man ndaong ke Kayla K why Lina Kayla K
Okay. No, Lina Kayla K is just a nickname. It's one from Uncle Waka.
okay
Mara Uncle Waka sa Tlala at him. So, until Kolela Mopela because he did. Okay. So, I'm Pizza Kayla K.
that was it wow renegade
I'm renegade. So, we can get advantage. Hana Quincy, I no. This Kayla K is a unique name. The Ingananga is stretched to a certain level. That's why I end up getting registered. It's a business.
nice one
Yeah. But the reason I already originally Kawashi, this food court. Simple na mo ke golelang teng ke golela mo dijong le
okay
kwa so the reason I want to dijong le godimo is because go sekolo thata ke go itse go godimo wa galala that's why ona le gore
ba gale
clean
yeah
so ke golela mo teng ga mo clean so this thing ya Kawashi ke passion ya gore nna when I have my first car I was doing it by myself, washing it.
Because
and I just stretched it to your passion.
no Hotman man
In terms of cooking, my father was a professional chef. So he's a professional chef. Before he passed on, Lene, he wanted to have a restaurant. That's why I make sure for him. How do I have a restaurant?
That's
Yeah, for 43 stars. Yeah.
ana ba fete re ikutela Hotman le le we kra go tla go ba fete ke la dingelo go khotse ka
So-
o le godimo ba alalela so Hotman man ra bona ke Kayla K ra itse ke bo dikoloi ke dipapa kwa jewa ya ba so gona le business tse di tselo ra di bona di teng ga business ka ke bona ba ba shopo and nails
Yeah.
le tsone ya Hotman le di motho le mo specialize ka jone ka taso
It's part of Kayla K. The reason why Konale Baba I should accommodate everyone because at times to a funeral, you want to wash your car, manala, ukate soho, oje, and then you should attend your meeting or your funeral or whatever. So it's a one-stop station.
yeah nice one so Hotman man mata buitse wena ya business person mona go yona mo
You know, even though it's so difficult, more business, but to be honest with you, I feel very proud, especially because they were now with that because when we grew up, they actually wanted to write off Manaba Bloomfield. Understand our Manaba Bloomfield, you only get things only in other provinces. Mare, renal potential, it's only that we never get a proper support from other entities. They were supposed to empower the youth or understand dreams. Understand? Yeah, but to be honest with you, I'm very proud to have this at my age because they even failed. They couldn't manage to to handle business consistently. So, but more than anything, you never have a business without having a passion. When I go away, you must have a passion. So if it's not passion, business is you must love it. Yes. We love it. Yes. Yeah. So if you say love that is to
abafethu re iputetse go tswa mo gaene Hotman bafethu go ngandao so Hotman for batho ba ile go ba outside Bloemfontein outside yes we lo ba galla go kitla ke in social thing go ka ba della tsona ona kitla ke tsona kana kae
on social media retain and then I know for other provinces they like Killer King. And I want this Killer King should grow to an extent that when you are in Free State province, understand like how we are go Cape Town, Tamilo hit the bomb so yeah, how we are Devon, so that's exactly what I want to do. Sure, you must pass it. There are other things still we are not even yet done. When you see the power shop, there in the corner, I also want to do something. Probably mention that you have your cap, you have your t-shirt, the Killer Key, you have your cigarette lighter, a glass that is branded, a key holder, such things.
Nice one.
Yeah. So that at least serious for Killer Key. Yes. Yes.
Ana bafethu ke ikutletse go tswa gone mo Hotman re le go kla go TV online le tumile tso go bua le bafethu ke Tlala ka katse ka ke ba bana mo tsa go ngene la le ke go pe e fela dai ba ke ditele yona Tlala ka katse go ba de bacteria
Bafethu season 2 ke Tlala ka kasi ntse re tshwere Lebogang Matolong bafethu ke 13 year birthday ya motheo 13 years birthday re tlo sika le ke re ka o mathe khatha flag te bafethu ke jointe e motheo tlo direlang event ya bona mo go ska le bala we go by the name Rockla Hood at all social handles tla be re na le bona the whole day follow us google us subscribe on YouTube like on Facebook ke Tlala ka kasi we go by the name Tlala ka kasi at all social handles nna ke Slama the rockstar Slama the superstar we still Tlala ka kasi I'm still Slama the rockstar ntse re le mo ke mo ga mathe ke tshwere programs manager ke re kitse ke 13 years party re tlo seka le cake programs manager dumela ntate ruak ko wena mang morena wa
nna ke ke mahaorampe ta Hotman
le no tswa motheo he ke ena programs manager ya motheo ntate re mona ka Lebogang Matolong
okay
ntwe kgolo le nyane e tsebahalang le sa tsebahaleng ka Matolong how do you know and how do you relate with the gentleman how do you relate with them
well when I get kala ke tsepile that's a crazy man every time you offer high
ish
le wa kana tlo ke motho wa fang hype le ho seng ha o thowetse a bona moya wa le fatse wa botsa hore why moya wa o le fatse ska ntlisetsa that aura ke batla motho a mafulufulu
o ska motlisetsa slow down
wa bona ke batla sebetsa le motho a mafulufulu ke motho ya rata modimo a ho ke motho ya sebetsang ka thata ke motho ya nang le di ideas every day ke di ideas mo te so ha o sebetsa le motho a jwalo automatically le wena o ba le mafulufulu o ba le di idea jwalo ka ena ke motho ya batlang ho bona batho ba bang ba tswetse pele ke motho ya batlang ho bona ntho nngwe le nngwe a e etsang e be e hola a se motho ya batlang ho etsa ntho e le nngwe nako e telele o batla ho ipona a hotse bophelong ke ka bokgutshwanyane fela
nakonyane e nyane o mo tsibileng ka yona o sebeditseng le yena ke eng o ka iqeollang e sa tshwaneng le batho ba aiming positioning ya hae ka sheko ba ba fitileng pele ho yena ke eng one fela o ka iqeollang nakonyane e nyane o
ke utlwa hore but dinga o ntshitse ka hara box e ne ke le ka hare ho yona ampha strength ampha tshepo ampha katleho ke motho ya jwalo even o ka bona le wena since a fihla motho wa FM e yo kae ho bontsha hore sheba re na le di-studio tse ntjha fine space of time ke a fihla kopanya ntho tsa di kopanyana re fihla re ba le studio fine short space of time ke a fihla kopana ntho tse kopanang at least bo businessmen di-investors di-advertisers di fihla di-advertiser le motho wa FM ke ka o bona motho wa FM e leng teng ke a fihla a tjhentjha branding ba motho wa FM I remember I ba ke se go se
hantle
a fihla a fetola ka bona le logo ena ke logo e ntjha e buang ka motho wa FM o motjha e buang ka community e ntjha e buang ka di listener tse ntjha ke motho e lo re that's why ke ne ke re wena o buile ka A1 nna ke qollotse
ba fetho motho re mo tshwereng ke ba bitswa di icon ba bitswa di legend ba bitswa di living legends ba bitswa di I call them rock stars, I call them superstars. Plus, he's my peer, it was Kailaliena. I'm going to call him soon, the show. We've been him since Hussein, Rimoni High, Rayaliena Moajang, Moa Chilanting, Rayaliena Moa Sebetang. Hananuali, by it's a 13-year celebration, es Moteo. Jwale re tlo bona party ya bona letsatsi la bona le tlo tsamajwang. Re tlo kwala ke Tlala ka I go by the name Tlala the Rockstar, ke tshwere the programs manager. Ntate Mohao.
Sure.
Dumelang bamamedi ba Motheo FM a le dumedisang ke Thandi Motlong ke nna momamedi e moholo wa Motheo FM.
Number one listener. Sister o ka re jwetsang ka Motheo mo ke 13 year birthday today. Lebogang. Gore Motheo o number one listener ga hobane o dula o mametse.
Ke dula ke mametse Motheo ke 13 years ke mamela ene Tate Matolong ke na station manager sa Motheo. So Motheo FM nka bua tse ngata because e re tlisetsa ditaba tse re sa di tsebeng ene ya thusa haholo
di community mona.
Yes ha ba batla thuso ba lela Motheo FM ana ona mohlanye ba fela
ene o bua ka wena wa tseba go ya thusa Motheo go tlo bua ka Tate Matolong mo tseba ba
Tate Matolong ke station manager sa Motheo FM ke tsele ke
mo tsebang ka yona wa sebetsa Motheo
haholo
wa sebetsa
haholo no tjena re bona tse ntle ka Motheo FM since
a tshwere marabi yes we hlalositse sister ke number one supporter ya Motheo FM ntse re tlo bua le ba bang the whole day re tla re dutse le bona ke Motheo FM 13 year birthday celebration le mo Tate Mathe. Sister, what are you looking forward to today? King o shebelletseng today king
today ke shebelletse ho itumelo batho ba thabele Motheo FM gore wona
monate fela 13 years celebration ke Motheo FM. I go by the name Tlala the Rockstar, Tlala the Superstar. The Rockstars cut Rockstars. Because one of the biggest rockstars in Free State, Tipapao, Shakes Kumar. Brashik, now I know you personally. Sure. Marimo Calypso. 3 seconds ago, and I had and then it's a more Calypso.
I'm still the same old person, Shakes Kumar. You know how I do, man. Love radio, DJ, you know, Taco guys. So, Lebogang Matolong, superstar. I've known him for over 20 years. Because when Motheo started, I was working with him, and then I just went back after 13 years. You know, so he's a very good leader. He's very accommodating for other people. He takes criticism from other people. He listens to other people. So overall, he's a very exciting person that you want to spend time with and have a good time with him.
Is he a good friend though?
He's a very good friend too, and a brother. You know what I'm saying? Because everything we do now is about brotherhood. He's a brother as well, so that's very important. And he's a very kind man, so I salute him.
Ke Tlala ka kasi ba fetu yo mpete wa se Dustin. Mpete wa se Dustin. Dokla de Pre. Awe, nzaya. Bra wa ka motho o dira 13 years bra wa ka le Lebogang Matolong bra wa ka.
Yes. Wait. Agit.
Yes, Dustin.
Agit gire.
Take it out.
Agit gire mara no mpona ke yam. Outa music ya ngota go ha so because of Motheo FM. So they've been so great to me from way back 2010. Basantse ba le ka set nya ditopo.
Ka sentini nkhala.
Ka sentini nkhala. We wona re. Since ntse ke pusha le bona and I still remember way back about 2010 is the guy who told me about the importance of mixing songs. I remember Reisa music since ke le party ya Ghetto Dogs.
Yes.
And then we took 2 tracks. Go ahead. Respectively because of Motheo FM, it's a local radio station, but Tlala. Only to find out that I reflected that, so they were like, no, quality of it. But when the Jigelang come around, and then the JK, that Tlala music on our show. So we went back because of him, Lebogang Matolong. We went back, had fit out Jika, Matuna music on Shapo, then here I am. So because of Motheo FM.
Hopolo will number 1 on couple of events, on couple of singles, Motheo FM.
The most average song, Free State, top 20 on some couple of radio stations. It's all because of Motheo FM. Douglas the brand because of Motheo FM.
Are you going to be one of the guys performing tonight?
Unfortunately, I'm just here as someone who's here to support my favorite radio station, like everyone else.
Fanaka, you know the deal. I go by the name Tlala, the rockstar, Tlala, the superstar, and
Douglas the brand, Dustin, Jengen, thank you, sir.